everyone, and welcome to another guide. Today we will be looking at Fortnite item priority and what you can do to always ensure that you have the best loadout possible. We're going to go over each weapon type individually, and then we'll go over healing items and general item inventory, what you should drop, what you should keep, etc. Our first weapon on the list is the shotgun. Now, as far as shotguns go, high-level players always swear by the pump shotgun. Worst to best, this is how I would rank them. Green tactical, blue tactical, gray pump, purple heavy, green pump, gold heavy, purple tactical. Now this may vary based on personal playstyle, and you need to be really good at accuracy to land the pump headshots reliably. Now what most players do is take one pump shotgun shot and then immediately switch to a tactical shotgun or an AR. The reason is because the time between the pump shotgun shots is so long, you're losing out on a ton of damage by not switching to something else right away. So if you're not going to be switching to another weapon after taking a shot, I suggest prioritizing tactical shotguns or heavy shotguns. In building filled areas such as tilted towers, I will usually take a tactical over a pump shotgun, unless it's the green tactical. That thing is terrible. Now the reason for that, in a place like tilted towers, you take many indoor fights where the distance between you and your enemy is like nothing. If you're rocking a blue tactical versus a gray pump at tilted towers, you walk around a corner and hit someone point blank with a pump or a tactical, you're gonna one-shot them either way. I usually take the blue tactical shotgun over a gray pump unless I'm past early game and way out in the open. But I always take the purple tactical shotgun over a pump shotgun. As you go up in the weapon tiers in Fortnite, the bloom actually goes down along with the damage going up. So once you reach a high tier weapon like a purple tactical, the bloom is so low, you're approaching pump shotgun levels. It's an extremely strong weapon capable of one-shotting someone with full shields just like a pump shotgun. The only difference is that you need to be a bit closer than you would if you had a pump shotgun. I already mentioned heavy shotguns in my priority list, but they don't seem to be that amazing. I'll still take a purple tactical over them, but I still appreciate a pump shotgun or tactical shotgun for that super close range fight. If you can keep your enemy a little bit further away, you can play with the heavy shotgun extremely advantageously, and if you have two of them, you can double heavy shotgun, which is extremely powerful. Now that's about it for shotguns. I hope it helps. Now let's move on to the next weapon, the assault rifle. Now when you think of burst ARs, you may not immediately think of them as the greatest weapon, but if you already have a shotgun, you should take the burst AR over the same color normal AR. An example being, take the green burst over the green AR and the blue burst over a blue AR, etc. And a special note about the blue burst, actually has the bullet damage of a purple scar and even more headshot damage while having fairly low bloom. The damage upgrades of the burst ARs is not linear. You gain 2 more extra damage going from the gray to the green, but you gain 4 extra damage from going to the green to the blue. The reason Ninja, Lupo, Myth, and like basically all the streamers preferred the blue burst is that you could peek fire 3 bullets without showing your body for very much time at all. Whereas the normal AR, you need to stand there in the open the entire time and risk getting gunned down from ARs, snipers, anything. It's way less dangerous to get shots on your enemies, but the only reason I recommend it after you get a shotgun is because its DPS is a good deal lower than a normal AR. So close-up fights are not going to favor the burst, but once you have a shotgun, you don't need to really worry about that. Now as for scars, you will sometimes see players like Ninja taking a blue burst over a purple scar. Now there's pros and cons that we've already gone over, but if you really prefer the playstyle of the burst, then totally go for it. I tend to take a purple scar over a blue burst just because it has lower bloom, but I always take a gold scar over literally any AR. And that's everything you need to know about assault rifle priority. Now let's get on to the next weapon, snipers. The new hunting rifle is actually pretty decent. With the blue one, you can do nearly 200 damage with a headshot. It can work as a replacement for a bolt action sniper rifle, especially late game, but most of the time you'll probably want a normal bolt action. And always take the bolt action over the semi-auto sniper. Just like the burst, the high burst damage and the peak ability of it makes it very powerful. With a semi-auto sniper, you just need to sit there with your head poking out and snipe, risking getting shot. I play fairly aggressive and most of the fights I engage with aren't over very long distances, so I tend to stick with the hunting rifle. But if you play a little more passively, then you should probably stick to the bolt action. And now let's go over explosives. Grenades are a great early game source of explode, but you probably find yourself later in the game with a shotgun, an AR, or a sniper, 2 healing items, and no real room in your inventory for that shiny new rocket launcher or grenade launcher. What do you drop? Now this could be a little subjective, but if you have an aggressive playstyle, you should drop a healing item. If you're the more passive type, maybe you could lose the shotgun, but only do that if you have a rocket launcher. You can use that as a replacement for a shotgun. I personally will oftentimes give up the sniper rifle in solos unless it's a hunting rifle. In duos, you can simply have just one teammate handle the explode, and the other two has all the healing items. Yeah, pretty easy. Losing the sniper for late game, all the players are so close together, snipers lose a bit of their value unless it's the hunting rifle. And if you do that, you'll probably end up launching rockets at a base, blasting them where they are. That works pretty well. But you see most people choose to drop a healing item instead of dropping the sniper. But if you do decide to drop a healing item, you really need to commit and be aggressive because you can't take that long of a fight. You need to rely on your kills to get you your healing items back. And you see that most of the time with the big streamers. They're so good, they can be aggressive and afford to be with less healing. I mean, most of the time, they don't even run out of healing by the time they get their next kill. Now, here's a few examples of some really good streamers' inventories. Ninja sometimes goes with no healing items and uses impulse grenades or explode. Now, that only really works for hyper-aggressive people that are very skilled at the game. But most of the time, if you do something that crazy, you usually have a teammate handle the healing. Most people have a much better chance keeping at least one healing item. Now here's an example of the streamer Sevnos' inventory. As you can see, he keeps it pretty balanced. Another option is going no explode. Now sometimes you have to do that, and it means you can keep your sniper plus 2 healing items, but when late game comes around, you're probably gonna get crushed if someone starts rocketing at your base and you have nothing to rocket back at him. It's not really recommended to throw away explode just for 2 healing items, but you could do it. But the most common way to do it is to have a shotgun, AR, sniper, explode, and 1 healing item. Seems to work for most people, and they have pretty good success with it. I know I have. And now let's go over all the healing items and what you should keep, what you shouldn't. For healing items, I made this graphic you can keep as reference until you get it down perfectly. Basically how this graphic works is things towards the top right are the worst items, and things towards the bottom left are the better items. If something is to the left or below the item you currently have, you should take that one instead. For instance, let's say I have a big shield and some bandages on me, and then I run into a chug jug. Oh, now I have 3 healing items. Which one do I drop? Well, look at the chart. You can see that Chug Jug and Big Shield both come a whole tier above bandages. So obviously drop bandages. And some of you may be wondering, wow, you'd rather take 2 big shields over 5 to 7 minis? There's a reason for that. Yes, 4 minis is equivalent to 2 big shields, so 5 to 7 minis is quite a bit more shield than 2 big shields. But what you need to remember is that big shields gets you up to full shield. Most of the time, if someone sneaks up on you, you will get shot once or twice before you have time to build and take cover. And during that time, you can get yourself up to full shield, and then when you engage them, you will be on an even playing field, versus if you just had minis, well then you would already be down 50 HP versus them who would already be full. So yeah, always take the item that's a tier above the other, and if they're both in the same tier, then take the one that is to the left. I tried to make it as simple as possible. Tell me if it's confusing in the comments, but hopefully people should be able to follow this without too much difficulty. And as for SMGs, well, you can replace your shotgun with it if you're feeling lucky, but I really don't recommend it. And don't really mess with the C4 unless the circle ends on tilted towers. It's not that useful most of the time. It's not worth dropping a healing item or a weapon. I mean, take it if you have an empty slot, but it's not really that great. I'm not even going to go over suppressed SMGs or deagles because frankly, they are not great. You could use a deagle as a shotgun replacement, I guess, or sniper replacement, but other than that, they're not really great. They have so much bloom that it's hard for them to be very consistent at all. A silenced SMG can be a shotgun replacement early game, but don't keep those weapons around. They're really not the top tier weapons. Stick with the good old trusty shotgun, AR, sniper, explode, and keep practicing, and I'm sure you will find success. Hopefully this helps you know what to drop and what to keep for your future games. I'm BuildMindSurvive, and this has been the Fortnite Item Priority Guide. Make sure to hit that like button if this helped you, and subscribe and ring that bell to be notified about all my future videos.